Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so is it Caribbean or Caribbean, meteorologist Angie Austin?
Either's fine.
Really?
Yeah, Caribbean or Caribbean. Some people say it different ways.
Some say tomato, some say potato.
Potato.
That too. I am going to share our live stream. Morning.
All right, here we go in 10, guys.
Not ready.
5 and 5.
Wake up, USA. This is Daybreak on your radio. This is America's original news magazine, Daybreak USA.
Hello, friend. Angie Austin here on a Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Mine, it was lukewarm, but hey, I'm here. John DeMaster joining me as well. Hi, John.
Was yours lukewarm because you spent half the weekend in an electronics store?
Yeah, and the guy helping us I said that he had laryngitis, so he typed all of his answers for 3 hours because we were having this computer issue. After 3 hours in there, they finally said, you know what? We just think you need to get a whole new computer. It's like a month old. So I'm like, fine. And then all the guys were rolling their eyes at the guy who was helping us because he claimed he had laryngitis. So I said to my husband, he doesn't have laryngitis. He just doesn't want to talk to people. So he would slowly type his answers out.
So it's antisocial laryngitis.
Yes,
I had that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotta go.
I'm
going to do that now.
Let's talk about that major hurricane because this is a doozy. And, you know, I was, as you know, a meteorologist for many years. I played one on television.
Oh, yes. So you're going to grade me on this and see how I do because you are the official in charge of weather. So there's this major hurricane in the Caribbean or Caribbean, depending on what part of the country you're from. Now it's threatening Haiti and Jamaica. It's Hurricane Matthew, named after my second child, and it's packing winds of 130 miles an hour, and it's the strongest storm to threaten the Caribbean in nearly a decade. Haiti and Jamaica expected to get hit today with landslides, high waves, and some flooding as possible, and this could threaten the southeast U.S. later this week. Could be Florida or could head a little further up the East Coast, and I should be pointing at my weather map right now so that it looks real.
Looks good. All right, Donald Trump is stepping up his attacks on Hillary Clinton with less than 40 days until the election. At a rally in Pennsylvania, Trump called Clinton's recently leaked comments about the supporters of Bernie Sanders into question.
Hillary Clinton thinks Bernie Sanders supporters are hopeless and ignorant basement dwellers.
You know, earlier in the show, we did have her actual comments, and I was actually a little bit taken aback because, you know, these are the people that now Bernie would like his supporters to vote for her, and a couple of the things she said, you know, weren't the nicest. Trump says Clinton was demeaning and mocking the people backing Bernie, backing crazy Bernie, as he calls him. He linked Clinton's words at the Virginia fundraiser in February to her calling half of Trump supporters a basket of deplorables last month. And now on to Hillary.
Who says that she worries about her grandkids, but not in the same way that African-American grandmothers do in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's what she said.
My grandchildren are white because they are the grandchildren of a former president and Secretary of State. Let's be honest here. They won't face the kind of fear that we heard from the young children testifying before the city council.
So she visited Charlotte, Angie, after being forced to postpone that earlier trip that she was going to make because of the protests after the shooting of Keith Scott. So then she makes a surprise appearance at a church in Charlotte yesterday and tells the congregation more details will come out about the shooting, but there is no question that Keith Scott's family is hurting.
All right, let's talk on New Jersey now. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says there's still a lot we don't know about last week's deadly train crash at a terminal in Hoboken.
Because of the damage, they have not yet been able to access all of the train cars. And so we can't get all the information we need yet.
All right, the train, as you know, plowed into the historic station Thursday, killing one and injuring more than 100. The engineer says he doesn't recall the accident. The NTSB vice chairman said the man does remember going 10 miles an hour as the train approached the station Thursday morning. You know, I don't know. I just think in a situation like that, not, you know, claiming that you don't have any memory is rather convenient, but I'm sure he was pretty, you know, severely injured. So maybe indeed he doesn't remember.
And it's interesting that the recorder that they have found, apparently there's two recorders in these trains, and the one that they did get, they weren't able to use, and the other one that's apparently in these trains is in the car that's the most severely damaged, and it's not even safe to get to it at this point. So they can't even get data from those recorders at this point.
Well, and the woman who died was, a young mom, and there was a stranger who I was reading. He stayed with her and said, he wasn't going to leave her, and she was fighting to try to survive. It was heartbreaking, but I guess I'm surprised more people didn't lose their lives in the accident, because when you see the pictures, it was pretty bad. Now, California, I lived there for 10 years, and there's a lot of earthquake fear.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's going on right now.
Well, now these people in Southern California, they're all on alert for an increased possibility of a major earthquake.
There's a possibility of a larger earthquake that might occur on the southern tip of the San Andreas Fault or in the Southern California area, and that they should take steps to make sure that they're prepared if we do have a catastrophic earthquake.
That's Kelly Huston with the Governor's Office of Emergency Services. He says that officials sent a warning to 8 counties after hundreds of small earthquakes registered under the Salton Sea, located on the San Andreas Fault. You ever lived through one of those?
Yeah, the Northridge quake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, coming up, we're going to talk about, do you feel the military should pay for gender reassignment surgeries? 5 words that can ruin a job interview, what never to say when applying for work. And then, have you seen that Sorry I Tased You cake? We'll get the real story behind the Sorry I Tased You cake. It is a real cake, but the reason it was made is not the one that's being reported. Will you move gender reassignment down?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Grab that real quick.
Thanks.
Put it at the bottom.
Kind of tired this morning.
A little bit.
I slept a lot yesterday.
In farming news, because of all that rain, apparently there's low pressure, and so we had 3 calves in one weekend. It was terrible.
You guys had 3 calves this weekend?
Yes, not us, but the cows outside. It was awful, because then you have to take care of all these crazy things.
So you guys have 3 brand new cows?
Yeah, 3 little baby ones. Do you want one?
Oh my gosh, your kids must have so much fun living there.
You would think so. Yeah, they'd love it.
They don't? Well, you drive around in their Barbie Jeep. You don't have fun living on the farm?
Oh, you saw that video of me driving in the Barbie Jeep?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I was surprised that it first of all held my weight, and second of all actually moved when I pushed the little gas pedal.
You need to put a car battery in it. You'll have fun.
Oh,
really?
My gosh. John has 3.
I'm trying to figure out.
3. Is David there?
Yeah, David's there.
Hi, David.
Hi.
John has 3 new cows at his house. Calves.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I couldn't live on a farm.
Oh,
They make great veal.
Well, I live bad enough with goats and chickens and.
Where do you live? You live in Phoenix.
Yep, but I live in a little area that little county pocket, and there used to be horses. Now there's goats and chickens and peacocks, all sorts of stuff.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
My grandson. Yeah, he loves it.
How long is entertainment news, guys, just in case David and I finish early?
I think Trevina might be playing with the computer in the other room.
1:30.
1:30? Okay. All right. If David and I get done, we'll do, because that's a good fit with him, even better. And then we could do good news, the the cowboy Walmart guy. Okay. So did you liked Miss Peregrine? Didn't you give it a 4? 4 bags?
Yes, I did. I liked it. I like Deepwater both.
And then Mastermind 6, Magnificent 7, Storks and Sully. There's some good movies out there.
Yeah, there are. It's a decent box office right now.
Maybe I'll take the kids to the movies on Wednesday after school. Wednesday. I'm going to put that in my calendar, John.
I can't wait for the alert.
Oh, do you get an alert? I'm sorry. I got to figure that out. I'll take them.
But then I can remind you if you forget.
Guys.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone.
You're listening to Daybreak USA.
Oh, yes, you are. And David at the Snack Bar is quite possibly the fastest and most thorough movie reviewer in the United States of America. Good morning, David at the Snack Bar.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Okay, so you loved Miss Peregrine and you loved Deepwater, and Miss Peregrine actually was tops at the box office. The Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Were you surprised?
No, not at all. I actually thought it would be number one. I was surprised Deepwater didn't give it more of a run. I mean,
Yeah.
Peregrine got 28.5 million, while Deepwater Horizon did 20.6. So I think both of them did well. Both of them will do well. It's actually good for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Not only was it a good weekend, but I think it'll set it up so they can do more of the books, because it's definitely a potential series.
All right. So that 28.5 million, and then Deepwater 20 approximately, and then Masterminds, and then Magnificent Seven, Storks and Sully. They're all, by the way, a lot of good movies at the theater right now.
I mean, Mastermind's really disappointed. It only did 6.6 million. It came in sixth overall. I mean, Magnificent Seven, Storks and Sully all beat it. So it did not do well. I guess stupid humor is not what people want to see right now.
All right, let's look ahead.
That in the news.
Right, in real life. All right, let's take a look ahead at what's opening on Friday.
Well, the big one opening up is The Girl on the Train. That is based on the best-selling book, and it's looking really interesting. I mean, it's one that I want to see very badly. It's Emily Blunt and Rebecca Ferguson. Emily Blunt plays a woman who apparently has been kind of watching this couple. As she goes to work, she sees them all the time, and then the wife goes missing, and she gets involved in the hunt and eventually gets accused of kidnapping and possibly killing the girl. So it's a lot of people are saying it's got a little bit of Gone Girl in it. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but even so, it looks really good.
All right, and then Denial.
Denial is based on a true story of a woman who wrote a book on played by Rachel Weisz, who wrote about this guy who is denied the Holocaust, and he sues her for defamation of character. So she has to basically prove the Holocaust did happen in court. So that's kind of interesting. It should be good. I mean, she's a very good actress.
And real quickly, Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life.
Yeah, that's just one of those little preteen comedies about an overly strict principal and the kids who kind of take him out with pranks. So I don't know. That one's I think, like I said, middle school kids will like it, but other than that, I don't think anyone else will.
That's about it. All right, David at thesnackbar.net. Talk to you Friday, David.
Got it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Alec Baldwin plays Donald Trump on SNL. LeBron James in the news in politics, and Kim Kardashian held at gunpoint. Ben Olson is here with this morning's entertainment news.
Good morning, Angie. Here's what's happening. Alec Baldwin is channeling his inner Donald Trump. The actor made his debut as the Republican presidential nominee on NBC's Saturday Night Live on Saturday. It was a debate parody with Kate McKinnon portraying Hillary Clinton. Baldwin, as Trump, claimed victory after the first question. He also complained about his microphone and interrupted constantly. The sketch opened the premiere of SNL's 42nd season. One of the most influential athletes in America is endorsing Hillary Clinton. LeBron James says that Clinton is the best candidate to carry out President Barack Obama's legacy. The Cavaliers star also says she understands the struggles of an Akron child born into poverty. A representative for Kim Kardashian says the reality TV star was held at gunpoint in her hotel room in Paris. Kardashian spokesperson told CNN that she was held up by two armed gunmen who were dressed as policemen. She was shaken but not hurt in the incident. Her husband, Kanye West, abruptly stopped a performance at the Meadows Festival in New York. He rushed off stage, telling the crowd he had to stop the show to deal with a family emergency. Sean Diddy Combs appears to be on the fence about who he's voting for. At his cologne launch in New York, he says he's always liked Donald Trump's style. He then went on to say it has yet to be seen whether he'll vote for the Republican nominee or not. Bruce Springsteen is trying to get a young fan out of trouble for playing hooky. He signed an excuse note for a fifth grade Philadelphia student for skipping out on school last week to attend his book signing event. The boy's father said the teacher ended up getting a photocopied version of the note because he couldn't part with it. I'm Ben Olson for Daybreak USA.
All right, Ben, coming up, some good news. Love that. And then should the military pay for gender reassignment? We'll talk about that. 5 words that can ruin your job interview. And a daycare investigated for a I'll smack you and then you get a snack procedure coming up. We're going to start Laboot with SNL.
We could. You want to hear the
What do
clip?
you think? Oh, and then will you put good news on? Thank you, David, if you're still there. Are we going to start with Let me take entertainment out of here. Wanted to put good news in there. We put both of them in, John, that way because one's shorter than the other. I
Sure.
think I'll probably do the short one. I thought that was pretty good. That woman who rescued the kid.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good. Are you
The crossing
tired
guard?
today?
a little bit.
I slept so hard last night. I was just really tired. Really tired yesterday. I got to get a car. I have like my mom's 1990 Camry with like the paint peeling off. That's what I get to use because my husband's taking my car. And he's just like, whatever, get whatever you want. And then I'm like, wait a second. Are you are you not helping me? Hi. Are you not helping me get a new car because you're bitter that I'm taking the used new car? Oh my God. Hi, John.
Good morning, Angie. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
All is good.
Okay. So I know you're not a fan of Donald Trump in particular, but
Nope.
what he did with his taxes is what businessmen do all the time, right? I mean, they take legal loopholes. They take legal. It's not when we say loophole, we make it sound like it's naughty but it's legal.
No one's saying it wasn't, but here's the problem. He should have released his taxes last year when he started running and get all that stuff behind him. Because what's happened is it's just lingering as an issue. Why won't he release his taxes? What's he hiding? And it is a problem. It came up in the debate last week. I'm sure it'll come up again somewhere. And get rid of it a year ago. Get rid of all the nasty, negative stuff. Every candidate's told to do that. Get rid of it up front, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, you've been a politician, so you know that. I don't understand your world per se. All right. What about the things that Hillary said about come on, Angie, about the Bernie supporters? We have that little soundbite. What did you think of that? Is that a big deal or not really? Because the Bernie supporters, they don't want to hear that they live in their parents' basement, and then she looks down on them.
Well, that's an excerpt from the whole thing. She didn't look down on them. She's being sympathetic to them. And Bernie Sanders has come out and defended what Hillary said. So,
you like that topic, or should we skip that one?
I don't think it's a big deal. I think the big deal is where's this race today, and where's it going to be Sunday night with the next debate?
Okay. Where is the race today?
All right, here we go in 5.
Where will it be Sunday night? Got it.
I'll open with that SNL clip.
Got it.
You're listening to Daybreak USA.
This man is clearly unfit to be commander-in-chief.
Wrong.
He is a bully.
Shut up.
He started the birther movement.
You did.
He says climate change is a hoax invented by China.
It's pronounced China.
He hasn't released his tax returns, which means he's either not that rich,
Wrong.
not that charitable,
Wrong.
or he's never paid taxes in his life.
Warmer.
All right, so we've got John LaBoute. Yay, he is the host of Political Insider Sunday nights on Fox. We thought you might get a kick out of that, Mr. LaBoute.
Well, it's the only time I've laughed in this whole campaign, and I have to say I've watched Saturday Night Live since it began 45 years ago, whatever, and it's not as funny as it used to be because the writing isn't as good as it used to be. The acting's great, but the writing isn't that great. This one, Saturday Night, was fantastic. It was really well done. Alec Baldwin was great as Trump. Kate McKinnon has Hillary down pat. I love the bit about my human father. He made drapes. He did drapes. Because they play her as an automaton, not even a human being.
My human father. All right, so let's talk. Last night you had your show. Things got rolling, and basically we want to know where is the race today, and where will it be Sunday night for the next debate?
Well, a week ago today, the race was tied. I think every objective observer said this thing could go either way. The polls had tightened up, both nationally and in the swing states. And the electoral college a little bit. The debate did not go well for Trump, and certainly the post-debate week has been an unmitigated disaster with him going off on Miss Universe and getting into all that day after day, tweeting the whole bit. And we're now weeks later, and in every poll I've seen, she's on average ahead in the states, New Hampshire, Michigan today, and Virginia, Colorado, Nevada, 7 points. She's had like 42, 35 in these states. And it was a bad week for Trump, good week for Hillary, but it's not over. And what's coming up this Sunday night is the second debate, which you and I quickly talked about last Friday, which is Town Hall Forum. Different format, no podiums. They're up on a stage together with stools they can sit on if they want. And they're surrounded by 40 or 50 pre-selected, undecided voters who are going to ask Hillary and Trump questions.
And what kind of questions, can you recap what kind of questions, John LeBout? Because I really liked when you had Mary from Cincinnati.
We had Mary from Dubuque said, Mr. Trump, my father has Alzheimer's disease. My husband got laid off. My son's in trouble in school, and I need a retraining program. What can I do? And, you know, it's a sob story.
And so we'll have lots of those questions. So it'll be much different.
It's going to have, not all of them will be sob stories, but they seem to like those things. And that's where Bill Clinton said, I feel your pain. Remember that whole thing?
Uh-huh.
And the quality that's required here is not bellicosity. It is empathy, kindness, and act like you really care about Mary from Dubuque. And Hillary, the operative term with her will be act. She will act like she cares about Mary from Dubuque. And we don't know how Trump's going to do it. The thing is, I think Trump will do okay, but it's not really a great forum to trash Hillary. You can do a little bit of it. You know, you can say to Mary, well, the reason your husband got laid off or your whatever is because of these trade deals that Hillary supported. I mean, you could do that. But it's going to require a little bit of work to do a lot of trashing of the other guy.
Well, and the interesting thing, you know, for the average American, we relate to these town hall settings more than the other. You know, you're a politician, you've lived in that political world, but for many of us, we do relate to those problems, and the town hall meetings sometimes for us are more interesting because we've got real life problems, and we don't want him to talk about, you know, the Miss Universe and we don't want him getting in fights with her. We don't want her wasting time with things that really don't matter to us. We want them focusing on issues that make a difference to us. John LeBout, your website?
JohnLeBout.com. JohnLeBout. JohnLeBout.com.
All right, we'll talk to you on Friday, and we'll get into what you're going to talk about on your weekend show. Thanks, John. All right, in good news, this is unbelievable. This little teeny crossing guard, she's 4'8", an 8-year-old girl, but she's helping across the street. Someone tries to abduct her right in front of this tiny crossing guard, and she becomes a superhero at 4'8". Take a listen.
She's being called a hero. The little girl just started screaming. She was like, please don't let her take me. I don't know her. She's not my mom.
She may not be very tall, standing at 4 feet 8 inches, but crossing guard Adrienne Young used all her might to fight off a woman who attempted to kidnap a child from Alexandria Avenue Elementary School in East Hollywood.
I told her to just grab onto me as tight as she could, and I held on to her. And the lady just began to come and attack me. So I just started back attacking her to make sure she can't take this little girl.
So talk about going above and beyond.
Today, Young is being recognized for her heroism, but says she was just doing what any mother would.
I kind of went into mother mode at that time and as a crossing guard because I just couldn't see myself letting this little girl be taken.
I'm so proud of her. We're so lucky to have women like her and crossing guards and all the agents around here that take care of the children. I feel really, really grateful.
Thanks to the description of the kidnapper given by Young and the student, an arrest was made.
The woman who did the attempted kidnapping was apprehended, and so she's being charged with attempted kidnapping, which is a very serious charge. So she'll be in the criminal justice system, and she is justifiably in a world of hurt.
All right, I love it. 4'8", little superhero there. Hey, coming up, 5 words to ruin a job interview. What to not say when you're applying for a job. The real story behind that "Sorry, I tased you" cake is pretty funny. You'll want to hear that. And then we've got a man who hid 110 bags of heroin. You'll never guess where he hid it, or maybe you will. It's not good. And then coming up, I have a little more good news. I love good news. So we can do what did we do last hour? Did we do the lasso? These are the 2 we have, right? Did we have one from Friday that we didn't use, Trevino? I think we did, didn't we?
I mean,
Yeah, let me look too. I've got
The mom that cries about the preschooler offering the kidney.
we did that.
Wedding vendors feel good. Call them to help a struggling bride with her big day.
Yeah, we didn't do that one.
The girl,
5232?
was that any good?
Here.
Brides often call it the happiest day of their life.
I always wanted the elegance and the pretty ball gown dress.
As a planner, it's Christy Meyer's job to help young ladies plan the big day. But when her path crossed with bride-to-be Haven Adams, her role took on a whole new meaning.
I feel like when God blesses your business like he has ours, I needed to pay it forward.
Haven's wedding plans weren't going as she dreamed.
It was a mess. It was stressful.
Illness hit her family again and again.
Isaac was diagnosed with leukemia, AML, in January. Hallie had brain surgery. She had a brain tumor that she had removed in June.
Her story and her struggle.
Who are those two people?
Who are the two? Which two people?
Yeah, is it like her groom and like her daughter, or who are the two people?
Isaac is her.
I just put the story in the rundown.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is it under cowboy?
I changed it. So go down to. Oh shoot.
Good news.
Sorry. Here.
Okay, just add it. Okay.
All right, here we go on 5.
I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end, then I'll start again.
Welcome back to Daybreak USA.
Oh, John DeMaster, we love good news, don't we? Did you have a big wedding, John?
Yeah, it was big. I mean, 200-ish people. It was fairly big.
It's like the whole town where you live, isn't it?
Yeah. That is true. We're in Podunk, USA. It is
Hey, that's
small.
great. I
town
love
here.
it. Oh, and you just had 3 cows at your farm.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And apparently my dad was explaining it to me yesterday. He said because of the low pressure system, it forces cows to go into labor. So instead of 3 being born over 10 days, we had them in like 24 hours.
Whoa, that is crazy. All right, so wedding plans in this good news story doesn't start out good, but it ends up good. The bride finds out that her fiance was diagnosed with leukemia, and there's more.
Brides often call it the happiest day of their life.
I always wanted the elegance and the pretty ball gown dress.
As a planner, it's Christy Meyer's job to help young ladies plan the big day. But when her path crossed with bride-to-be Haven Adams, her role took on a whole new meaning.
I feel like when God blesses your business like he has ours, I needed to pay it forward.
Haven's wedding plans weren't going as she dreamed.
It was a mess. It was stressful.
Illness hit her family again and again.
Isaac was diagnosed with leukemia, AML, in January. Hallie had brain surgery. She had a brain tumor that she had removed in June.
Her story and her struggle opened a new door.
I love Jesus, and I know that he brings people into our path that we're supposed to encounter.
Phone call after phone call put a special plan in motion.
Called all my buddies in, the photographers, videographers, kind of spilled my heart through my tears, and all of them within an hour had called back, we're in.
A Tuesday night to plan instead brought some guests with a surprise.
We would like to offer both of you our wedding on the house.
Flowers, photography, cake, rings, music, the dress, all together, all donated.
It couldn't have been anything but just God answering prayers and just working through all these people.
Thankful for what you're doing. I'm thankful for what you have done, and that you're a direct answer to my prayers, and I want to thank you for that.
But the biggest gift for this couple may just be another day surrounded by people who care.
Love it. I love it when people make a difference and do the right thing and just they're kind to others. That's in a pretty big way, but boy, talk about a life-changing event for them.
Oh, absolutely. I love those stories. We love good news around here.
I know. Dan No, who helps us out a lot on the show with putting up our segments on the internet, says, Angie, could you do more good news? I really like listening to those good news stories. I mean, yes, we'll change the whole show for you, Dan. All right, Coming up, the real story behind that Sorry I Tased You cake.